Hi, welcome back to the Future Connect Bridging the Skills Bootcamp. I'm Louise, the Senior Engagement Executive here. Today I am here with Andy Murray, who is the Finance Manager at Orrsum, but is also a voluntary committee member and co-secretary of the AAT Leicestershire Board. Today in this episode we're going to be speaking about introduction to accounting and finance, different entry pathways, progression and the future of accounting. So if you want to hear about how to enter, grow or stay relevant in the industry, do stay tuned in and keep watching. Andy, can you tell me a little bit about your current role at Orrsum? What did your journey look like from starting out in finance all the way up to becoming a finance manager?
Yeah, sure. So my role involves both aspects of financial and management accounting. It's a very much roll your sleeves up, hands-on role. 1 minute I'm involved in transactional level tasks, and the next I could be working on something like a cash flow forecast, or the budgets kind of thing.
Yeah.
So my journey started in an entry-level role in finance. I started as an office administrator with administrative and finance tasks. It was more focused on the office admin side, and then to my benefit was heavily focused on the finance side. So whilst I studied AAT, I was able to take on additional responsibilities in the workplace from the learning, which was great. And then managed to work my way up to my current position as finance manager, managing the company finances and a finance team.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So thanks for sharing that. I think that your journey really does highlight how important those early roles can be in shaping your career. Obviously, a lot of people don't realize that you can start out in admin or even entry-level finance-based roles, and with the right training and support, you can grow into roles like a finance manager, and that's exactly what we see with all of our learners on our Future Connect Skills Bootcamps. They come in at all stages with the hands-on practical training that we provide, and then they build the confidence to progress step by step, just like you did, into your role. So how would you describe the accounting profession to somebody considering it as a career path for themselves?
Yeah, so for me, I feel the accounting profession offers a lot of variety. There's so many different functions that you can have the opportunity to work in and specialise, from financial accounts to management accounts, transactional level, to areas such as tax, audit, as well as those functions working in a variety of sectors. So it could be in industry, in practice, public, and the charity sector. I would also say I think the accounting profession is quite exciting. I find it challenging but also rewarding. I think it's safe to say that it can be quite hard to start out, but by putting those skills that you've learned from your studies into practice, it really allows everything to come together and start to make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love how you describe it as both just challenging and rewarding. It really does echo with what we see with our learners. I mean, many people think that it is just about crunching numbers and, like you said, rolling up your sleeves and just getting on with it. But as you also said, there's so much variety to it. There's tax, there's audit, there's management accounts, there's industry versus practice. And with our skills boot camps, obviously, we try to give our learners a taste of these different areas just so that they can see where their interests are, where their strengths lie, while also building those practical skills they're going to require in the job market. So things like Excel, bookkeeping, different softwares like Sage 50, and then financial reporting as well. So what are the main routes into accounting? Like, especially for someone that's starting from scratch, do you need like a degree to get into the profession, or do you think that there is more stronger options out there on the market at the moment?
Yeah, I'd say there are many different routes into accounting. It's not just about, you need a degree or you have to have a degree. There is the AAT route. This is the route that I took into accounting. The AAT route offers a fantastic grounding and skill set really to excel in your accountancy career. There's also the ICB route, which is more focused to self-employed and practice route, I would say. And then obviously after this, you can choose to go on to further professional studies and go up to chartered level, ACCA, SIPA, CIMA, etc. So yeah, you don't need a degree to get into accounting. Many people do enter the profession via that route, and if you come into accountancy via that route, then you can move straight on to the chartered qualifications. But from the experience that I've seen and the managed that I've been around, all routes are really valuable in the profession.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is really important point, to be honest. You don't need a degree to get into accounting. That is a straight fact. At Future Connect, we see so many learners who really do think that they missed the boat because they didn't go to university, but actually routes like AAT or even our skills bootcamp give them that direct way in with a lower cost rate to it. Obviously, our training is fully funded, so there is no cost to our learners. It removes that barrier for people who might not have even had the resources to study otherwise. Maybe they had some personal issues going on in the background that caused them to not be able to balance like a uni life and a family life at once, or maybe they just needed a way to get into the industry but couldn't balance their work and their study life. So obviously we give them those resources to study even while having their own lifestyle throughout it. So like you said, there's no one right path, but there are great accessible options that really can launch a person's career into accountancy and finance. So once qualified, what kind of career progression can somebody expect in accounting? What kind of skills can someone move from like junior roles to like a leader-based position?
I'd say it's cliche to say that the world is your oyster. However, I really think that qualifications do open up doors within your accountancy career. It's not just about technical skills. I mean, technical skills are very important to be able to display good accountancy knowledge of standards, double entry bookkeeping, and then also, continuing your professional development to demonstrate your continued learning is really important as well. I would say also soft skills are very important. So some of these can be quite hard to find. I'd say communication, presentational skills, teamwork, problem solving are definitely some that I would mention. And then on the leadership side, helping others within your team is really important as well. Showing that you're able to roll your sleeves up, that you're not afraid of doing that, and that no task is beneath you, I think really sets an example as a leader.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I see that firsthand with my team as well. Being such a positive leader can absolutely change the way that the team's dynamic works. Not just within just a finance setting, but in any industry setting. Being a leader and having a good team connection does massively change the way team performance rolls out. But I think you have absolutely nailed it there. It's not about technical knowledge. It's not just about technical knowledge. It's also about developing those soft skills like communication and teamwork, and obviously problem solving. That's where we really build into our boot camps. Obviously, when we're training them, it's not just about training them in the software or theory that they'll learn. It's also about showing learners how to help them with their CVs, showing them interview prep and how to professionally present themselves in different job environments. Obviously, we've seen so many learners go from being nervous about employing for just entry-level roles and then just taking themselves to leading small teams just after a couple of years because they've built all of those sets of skills that we've both highlighted. So what do you think new professionals or just even long-time professionals should focus on to stay relevant in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, I'd say it's key really to focus on areas such as software development, automation within accountancy. AI obviously is a massive thing these days, so utilizing AI. Of course, Power BI reporting, accounting net standard updates, regular changes to those, so you need to stay abreast of what's going on in terms of the International Accountant Standards and IFRSs. Also, environmental, social and governance, ESG reporting is something that there is legislation that's coming in, and there is IFRSs already for those, so they're being seen now in financial statements.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a brilliant insight to where the profession is heading. I mean, technology, AI, automation, and ESG, these are exactly the things that learners and long-time professionals need to be aware of and need to be up to date on. I mean, at Future Connect, we're constantly updating all of our skills boot camps just to make sure that they're future-proof, because whether that's more focused on like data analytics or in finance, or just making sure that people are comfortable with the latest softwares, it's so important that staying relevant is priority for all companies, whether you've been a professional for 2 months or whether you've been a professional for 10-20 years. It's not just enough to be qualified. You've got to keep moving with the industry if you want to stay relevant. So, Andy, thank you so much for sharing your journeys and insights today. It's been absolutely inspiring to see how dedication, just continuous learning, seizing opportunities can take you from just entry level roles all the way up to finance leadership. I think that for our listeners, I think the key takeaway is definitely that there's no single path into accounting. I think wherever you come from, whether it'll be university, an apprenticeship, or like yourself, you build your way through hands-on experience and professional training, there is so many different opportunities out there.
Thanks for asking me to be a part of the podcast today. Just want to end by saying accountancy is a fantastic career path that can really open doors up for you.
Absolutely. And obviously here at Future Connect, we are passionate about making these opportunities accessible for absolutely everyone. Our skills boot camps are fully funded. They're always practical and designed to give you and learners, or even your team, technical knowledge, build confidence, and give you career support and industry awareness to help you thrive in today's changing finance world. But also, if you're a business, just giving you the opportunity to get yourself up on skills and make your team's efficiency run a hell of a lot smoother. So if Andy's story today has inspired you and you're thinking about starting the profession, either as a finance career or just to help upskill your team, now's the perfect time to take that step. Who knows, your journey could be the next success story that we share here. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.